Hi, I'm Madelyn with Spiritual Rebirth Tarot. I am a tarot reader and energy healer. It's so nice to be with you today. I love you all so much. Thank you for coming to my channel and watching the video on the full moon. And the full moon is in Cancer this time, which is really quite amazing because it was also in Cancer in January. And so our whole, Cancer is the house of the home. So we have been in the home all year. Anyway, it's kind of, it's this beautiful energy of home and family. It's great to have around the holiday seasons and bringing together that love. And Cancer, especially Cancer moon, has a lot of sensitivity and love and passion. They can sometimes put up walls and be kind of hard to get through because such a sensitive, generous type, soul. And so I'm really excited for us to all be experiencing this level of emotions and energy at this time. And so I kind of started this reading, and then we're restarting because I have a few things I wanted to say extra. So I have already selected the cards, and I want to stay with those because they are the correct cards to have. So the cards that we're going through, and I asked first for divine guidance to help us in this reading and to bless us and guide us. And so now we are moving into these shaman cards. They're kind of like a traveler's deck, and underneath is divine timing. And divine timing is the Wheel of Fortune card. This wheel would be a little hard to travel on in the shape of it's a good thing the wheel is round and not square or triangular. So it might represent a little bit of a bumpy ride as we're going into the new year, going from this full moon on the 30th of December into the new year of the 1st of January. So I know for me it will be in some ways, having the kids at home still, not going back to school yet, and just all of the energies in the house surrounding that, excuse me. So that is kind of like the underlying message. So what we did is we took a look at 3 cards. The first one is the things that we have been manifesting into our life, and then where we're at, and with the full moon, and the things that we're going to be shedding during this as the full moon is going back down to the new moon. So and then at the end we're going to be taking a look at one of the angel messages. So stick with us to the end. We'll also take a look at some tarot clarification. Okay, so the first card is emotional release. And so it might be interesting to think that that's what we've been manifesting, but release. But many of us have been manifesting the ability to really deal with our emotions in a new way, a new clarity around those emotions. And you can see the different colors here of the different chakra. The green for the heart, the orange for the sacral, and the blue for the throat chakra. Now, if you want to learn more about those, I have some videos under chakra cleansing on my YouTube that talk more about the chakras, and also I have some tarot readings for those, for cleansing those. And the thing about the chakra is that they are these energy centers in your body, and that when they're all aligned and they're open and they're working properly, you'll have a lot more health both in your mind and in your body. And so we can use Reiki and Theta and different forms of healing to help those energy centers in your body. In this case, this time of manifestation, bringing things into our life in the last 2 weeks has really been about trying to seek that healing, that cleansing, and the balancing of those chakras. And as we do that, You know, as we open our heart and we open our creativity, and we open our communication, as we do those things, we find that we are we're crying, we're releasing. I think I have started to cry more in the last 2 weeks, but it's all been good. It's been positive things that I've learned. It's good things, you know, being grateful for my children, grateful for my life, grateful for everything that I have. And so manifesting gratitude, manifesting balance, manifesting openness, and a willing to express our emotions. And that's great for coming up to this new full moon in Cancer, where we'll really be able to express a lot of our emotions. So in that full moon in Cancer, in this time period, it's home, and we were talking about it's 4. It's 4-4, but oh my goodness! So look up the number 4-4 as the master number. So master number 4-4, meaning of it, and see what comes up for you, and it'll give you more clarity and meaning for this reading. And as we look at that, we were talking about, you know, Cancer is the home, you know, and it's the 4th house. You know, and it's the stability and strength, and yet all of that lovingness, you know, that comes from, you know, the mom figure. And we can see here that in this card, it's kind of like, can you find your way home? You have to almost go through a maze to get there. So some of you may be feeling right now like, you know, you've been learning how to release your emotions, but you still haven't quite made it all the way home. You know, follow the sun, follow the moon, follow the energies, and you can make it. You can get through this maze. You know, the home is there waiting for you. And so the energy of now is walking into the beauty of that home in your heart, finding a home in your heart. And then the 3rd card, so the things that we'll be shedding over the next 2 weeks, is unlimited possibilities. And this tree is dropping all of its leaves. It's in the fall, it's dropping its leaves, or actually it's kind of dropping flowers. Look at the flowers. It's shedding the flowers. And so sometimes when we think of shedding, we only think of these bad things or the dark things or the things that we should get rid of because they're bad. But what if we're walking around just shedding happiness throughout the world for 2 weeks? That no matter what's going on, no matter what craziness is happening in the new year, we are this big, beautiful, sturdy, strong tree that's shedding happiness. So, and it's 19, which is 10, which is also 1. So it's the end and the beginning of a cycle. In this case, it's kind of, with all the flowers, it's like they're moving into spring. For us, we've just moved into winter, going through these cycles of the earth. And as we're doing that, you know, shedding happiness. So we are called to shed happiness. Okay, so let's take a look at some tarot. So as this week goes by, if you find ways to feel more at home, release things, or shed happiness, can you give me a comment? I'd love to hear about it, kind of know what's going on and how this has resonated in your life. So we put Reiki energy into the deck. It guides the cards. Okay, so we'll get one or 2 cards, probably 2 cards for each. So we were talking about the end of a cycle. So underneath is coming to the end of a lot of stress and strain and burdens. And so it's kind of exciting actually, because it's the wands are a passion energy and a fire energy. And so it's taken a lot of fire and passion and strength to carry these burdens. And certainly this year has pretty much brought burdens for everyone. And so we're coming to the end of the year, the end of the cycle of those kind of burdens. And so the first card, the emotional release, is the Emperor and Death. And so I think death is probably one of the ultimate emotional releases, in the sense of, letting go of the things that are dying in our life and that are no longer meant to be there. And in this case, taking on the things of structure. And so it's kind of encouraging you at this time to, take a look at the structure in your life. And this time has brought more structure and is bringing more structure into your life. And so as you embrace that structure, you'll be able to let go of the things that really just aren't needed for you and move into the things that are really needed during this new year. And then home is two kings, King of Swords and King of Wands. So that's amazing, because we have two kings and the Emperor. So we have the Emperor, which is the ultimate king, and we have two of the kings. So it's a very strong masculine energy, which is interesting when it's such a feminine sign. The moon in Cancer, the moon being feminine and the Cancer being feminine. And so it's almost like the cards are drawing you to, as this feminine kind of overtakes you in some ways, pull in that masculine strength and direction. And in this case, the masculine is bringing both the sense of clarity and truth and passion and beauty. And so these two kings together are bringing to you kind of like it's air and fire. So, in some ways it's almost like heating up your passions more, or, fanning the flame. So they kind of fan the flame in your life. They propel you into this new year. So as you're being propelled into the new year, you may still be at home, but, allow yourself to be propelled into this new year. And as you do that, we actually go into the moving card. The Six of Swords, moving forward in a new direction. And really, to me, I see this Eight of Swords here, and I'm just like, we're moving away from being tied down, from the energy of being tied down. Or you can choose to be, see how he's looking away? You can choose to look away, or you can choose to stay bound. And I feel like she's holding on to something, and holding on to that something is keeping her tied up. If she were to let go of that, she could free herself. She could take off her, her eye thing. She could see where she was. She could take off these ropes. They're not on that tightly. And she could free herself. She could choose to walk free of this situation. But this thing that she's holding on to, and that's what this death card is about, is, letting something die. And this is a general reading, so it's hard for me to get specific about what that thing is that you should be letting go of. Let me ask and see if we get any answers coming through. What do we need to let go of, to shed? What do we need to let go of? underneath is the same card, the Eight of Swords. What do we need to let go of? So the first one is the Star card. So this is the Aquarius energy. We have just moved into the age of Aquarius. So exciting. But the thing that always strikes me about this card is how these fish are swimming around her in the air, kind of. I mean, I realize she's probably underwater, but I kind of pretend like she's standing in tide pools that the water has gone out. And she's here, she's bringing in this energy into her third eye. But all around her are these fish out of water, flying fish out of water. So I think that part of what you're letting go of is having to be like everyone else. Letting go of that, trying to conform, trying to be like everyone else, and instead moving into your authenticity. And, letting go of the past conflicts. This is the Seven of Swords, letting go of the past conflicts, the past difficulties. He's still fighting the battle, even though the battle is won. Letting go of the past. And I read somewhere the other day, letting go is actually, letting the emotion in, feeling the emotion, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, and then letting it go. And so, it's a process. And so in order to break free, we need to break free from the past, break free from the fights we're still fighting. We have won. We are victorious when we stand in ourselves and in our own power. And then the Eight of Cups. No, the Knight of Cups. So for some of us, we have to let go of romance and our knight in shining armor. I was listening to a guy, and he was talking about how, you see how much he's longing for that cup, and how in order to get what you really want, you have to be willing to have the opposite. So if you want to be very wealthy, you have to be okay with being excessively poor. If you want to be with someone, you have to be okay with always being alone, forever alone. If you really want, to have children, you have to be okay with not having children. If you want to be spiritual, you have to be okay with not being spiritual. Once you are okay with being the opposite, then it can come into your life. And so that's what this is talking about. It's letting go. It's not one particular thing that you have to let go of. She's holding on to those things that once she lets go of them, she'll be able to receive everything she's been holding on to. That's a really cool message for the full moon. By letting go, you receive. So what I'd like to do is I would like to end with a message from the angels for us. And then I'm going to do an extended reading. We'll look at some of the blocks, the fears, the hopes, the desires that we have, and the information coming from our higher self, and pull one of the well-being oracle cards from the well-being deck from Abraham X. So if you're interested, and if this is resonating with you, come on over to the extended. There's a link down below, and you can either join Patreon and get all the extendeds for the whole month at a time as a member, or you can get just one extended off of Vimeo. So it's your choice. And let us end this session together with a card from the angels, a message from the angels. So a message from the angels for the full moon in Cancer in December. December 30. Message from the angels for December 30. Cupid. We send waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for your life itself. Wow. Your clear decisions to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all of its glorious aspects. Look at how she's making these little love bubbles. It's so cool. So, you know, the exciting thing is that Cupid is coming to each one of us, giving us romance in our hearts. You know, romance yourself. When you know how to romance yourself, like I said, it'll come to you, the romance with others. So let's say you're in a really strong relationship, bringing more romance to yourself and to that other person will help to strengthen that relationship. So she's coming and saying, accepting love is what you have to do, allowing love into your heart. So I just finished a reading that was about relationships. It was a really cool reading where we took a look at a relationship that might be struggling, and we also spent some time in meditation, opening the heart chakra. And to me, this is what this is trying to say is, open yourself, open your heart chakra, allow the protection of the universe around you so that you're able to be totally open for everyone around you and yourself. Well, thank you so much for coming to this message, and come on over to the extended message and we'll continue the reading there.